Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? Welcome to Ashish Unique Mindset. So today we are going to just take it forward into my morning rituals and what do I do in the mornings, and I make it a point to read something that is aligned to my worldview and something that makes me a calmer person in the mornings. Mornings I do not read fiction and inflammatory content. I prefer not to consciously go into it, even though social media sometimes invariably comes up, and we do tend to trespass on those lines. But that is not the norm. I consciously read stuff that is aligned to my worldview and how it can make me a better skilled person, make me a much more emotionally aware person about myself. So the books that I have been reading over the last 3 years at least, this book is quite close to me. This is called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So this book reinforces that everything that we have to do in life is in the current moment. We must take ownership and accountability of the current moment. We cannot just let time go away and fade into obscurity. We cannot do that. Should not do that, because then the regret of not doing and not taking the action will come back to haunt us. That is the essence of the book. That is my interpretation of what the author wants to convey, and also he wanted to convey that to interpret the present moment as the present moment, nothing else. So very, very vital, pivotal book that everyone must read. Another book about very poignant and very important is Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy. So this book is important because often as working professionals and as individuals, and having various roles in our lives, of a mother, of a father, of a spouse, of a employee, we tend to discard the most important thing in life. So this book, Eat the Frog, reinforces that contemplate within that what is the most important thing that you must do today. It might be anything. It might be a chore that you might have been procrastinating or avoiding. So, and it could well be, in case of IT professionals or office goers, that any important deliverable that you are working on. Or in my case, I start my mornings with a bit of movement, as I mentioned in my previous video, that if you do not work on yourself first, it's very unlikely that you will do justice to the other things. And even if you do, it will maybe help you in one aspect of life, which is primarily a financial aspect, but in other aspects will become neglected, and which is not good for a spiritual and evolving human. Another very poignant book, and very aligned with the corporate world, and it has got a various anecdotes, and it alludes a lot to the corporates, how corporates of like good businesses have been established. What has been done is start with why. So it has got a very good spiritual as well as very essential question that Simon Sinek he has put out, that any product or anything that you do in life should begin with why, not how or what. So why are you doing anything in life? That must be the essential question, that why am I doing what I'm doing? And it's a broad topic. It's not an easy answer. And neither does it have a necessarily correct answer to that. It does not. Because life, to remain devoid of your ego and I am the best, I'm doing justice to what I'm doing, all those sort of notions, one must also keep aloof from your why, because why is personal and it is also important but not overtly important, so that you become a narcissist in your approach. Start with why. Another great book, great book, I think a masterpiece in itself, is Man's Search for Meaning. So Viktor Frankl. So this book is for those people who have had a lot of adversities in life. Viktor himself was in a Nazi camp, so he has mentioned a lot of his sufferings and how he being such a big doctor, how he had undergone sufferings in times that nobody wishes for, and how that forges a human being. So Man's Search for Meaning. It's a beautiful book. It's not an easy read at all. It's often disconnected, especially if you haven't been exposed to a lot of hurt and personal anguish and personal loss in life. And nobody wants to have that, right? But it's a very good book. But one has to read it with empathy and a lot of deep reflect first. So not for beginners, but still a very good book. Another great book, another not an easy read, is this one by the late Daniel Kahneman. Great mind. So this is about thinking fast and thinking slow. It basically is a psychological model that illustrates that human mind is capable of two systems. One is very instinctual. It is very embedded in ourselves, the limbic system, the brain, and how we function. It comes from there, because if anyone shouts, you will flinch, or if anything comes up, you will flinch. So all those sort of systems are embedded in system 1, and system 2 is an analytical system which so many of us use in our lives, and use it to great effect. And that is like when we are computing something, when we are writing something, not writing philosophically, but a bit on the technical side. If we are writing something, what do we actually use? If we are filling some Excel sheet or adding something or doing those sort, the system 2 comes into effect into that. So how those two systems interchange and interoperate, that is the core of this book. So in this section I will dwell a bit of another great book is in this non-fiction series is The Road Less Traveled. Beautiful book, one of the best I have read in my opinion, self-help books. It comes from Scott M. Peck, a well-known, renowned, a pioneer psychologist. So in this book he discusses through his practice and through his analysis that which are the areas which have become underdeveloped in the human psyche that needs working, that we need to work on, right? What we need to improve upon. So that is the essence of the book. What are the core aspects in one's life? What is love? What is empathy? What is the meaning of love? What is self-love? What is mutual love? How can we progress to mutual love? All those concepts are very well written and very easily written in this book. It's like the why of this book is very good. So to start with why, I'm just alluding to that. The why in this book is very well written. So this was a crux of what I read in the non-fiction and self-help category. In some future video I will bring out my fiction masterpieces. So my one quick note that my fiction is also slightly bending towards which has a spiritual angle to it. I don't read the conventional fiction or anything. It should have some semblance of connection, some kind of core ideology which the writer believes in. not encouraging anyone to become an ideologue or to subscribe to an ideology which is flexible enough, but he is of a certain inkling and he sticks to that, and bends that ideology also according to the situation. So stay tuned, and I will bring forward that video very soon. Have a great life, and please subscribe to the channel, and also follow me and subscribe to the channel and follow, because I will also be putting out various shorts, because I want to holistically showcase what I do in my life, and that's the intention. And the shorts will also illustrate some of my workouts that I do, and what comprises my work day. Thanks a lot.